Welcome to Alpha Recaps. This is Dexter Resurrection Part 3 recap. Dexter takes Ryan's watch, saying he will carry it for him. Harrison isn't ready to stay, though, and walks away. Harry advises Dexter to give him a space for now. Not long after, Harrison receives a call from Detective Wallace. She insists on meeting face to face. Though hesitant, he agrees. Dexter reels from Harrison's rejections, feeling the weight of isolation more than ever. His son wants nothing to do with him. He has no real friends, and even the couples making out in the back of his right chair remind him of what he doesn't have. His thought drifts back to Mia, and he calls her, and to his surprise, she agrees to meet. The two spend the evening bowling. He even plans a gala on the anniversary of their death. When Harrison meets Wallace, she shows him a news article praising his rule in stopping a school shooting back in the Iron Lake, suggesting he might have a hero complex. She reminds him that he still suspects of Ryan's case, though not under arrest. Elsewhere, Prater sits down for an interview with Lately's Hal. He speaks about growing up in foster care, and the night car crash claimed his parents' lives. According to him, police officers saved him that night, which is why he now supports a controversial law enforcement group. Later that night, Dexter and Mia plans to continue their date. Things takes a turn when she raises the idea of joining forces on Kill. Harry appears in Dexter's mind, warning against it. He recalls how partnerships with Meagle and Lumen fell apart, insisting that teaming with another killer is a dangerous route. Dexter pushes back, convinced Mia is different. She isn't pretender or an amateur, she lives by her own code. Harry insists her desire to walk with someone she thinks is Red, a murderer of innocence, shows she's deeply unstable. Dexter, however, feels tempted to reveal his true identity. Brushing aside the risks, Harry cautious that he's only chasing Mia because he can't have the acceptance he crafts from Harrison. At work, Harrison receives a call from Dexter but refuses to talk or meet. Once again pushed away, Dexter turns attention back to Mia. Meeting him for a wine date over drinks, he sleeps in to talk about his past in Miami, when he subjects his shifts to killing. Mia insists that they do it her way. She suggests targeting the rideshare driver, any driver at all. Dexter is tuned. She had once claimed to hunt only predators, but now she admits she has also killed innocent. For Dexter, this destroys the idea that they were alike. Together they wander the crowded streets, Mia eager to see Red in action. She even flags down Richer, but Dexter refuses, frustrated. She storms off, determined to find her own victim. Dexter realizes he has to stop her, but she disappears. Suspicions were raised at Brighter next dinner since two killers would now be missing. Mia heads into the bar, zeroing on a drunken man in a suit. She lures him and soon takes him back to her place. Dexter breaks into her apartment ahead of time, waiting for her return. Outside, he watches as she kisses the man before knocking him unconscious with a wine bottle. Dexter dials 911, discussing his voice as a frightening caller. When the man wakes tied at his chair and Mia prepares her tools, police breaks in and arrest her. Before leaving, Dexter plans Ryan watches in his apartment, framing her for murder. Wallace is surprised when she's seen, realizing her assumption about Harrison may not hold, but she remains cautious. Charlie visits Prater and informs him that the Mia locked away under heavy guard. Prater isn't satisfied. He wants the problem removed. News spread fast. Angel watches reports of Lady Vengeance being tied to Ryan's death and suspects Dexter has hands on it. Harrison also sees the story and feels conflicted, pushing him back toward his father. This time, Dexter doesn't hold back. He admits his failure, confessing that his mistakes led to Rita's death and shatters his lives. He tells Harrison he doesn't want him to become killed, recognizing the goodness his son still has. Finally, he apologizes and admits that he needs him. Father and son agree that they're all each other has left. Charlie later meets Mia by posing as her lawyer, promising her that her time in jail will be short. Alyssa notices Harrison's troubled expression and seeing Engelbrecht assumes he is pressing Harrison over Ryan's death. She confronts Angel Batista and since Harrison had no involvement and willingly giving him more reason to dig deeper. As the meal ends, Charlie distributes his phone so the killers can keep in touch and regroup in 2 weeks. Loyal bragged that he will have another trophy by then, which only steals Dexter's resolve to stop him first. Haunted by constant ticking of Ryan's watch, Harrison locks it in safe, seeking comfort, visits Alessa, where laughter eases him in his mood. When he leans for a kiss, she gently turns him down, calling him a good friend instead. Embarrassed, he leaves. Dexter joins Mia for a run through Central Park, disguised as Red. He prays for information about Prater, but she explains the strict rules and how Charlie once executed a member who broke them. Their talk turns personal, sharing the anger they felt as children. Mia reveals her path started with his younger sister. The two connect, but when she invites Dexter back to her apartment and slips away for a shower, he walks out. Instead, he shifts his focus to Loyal, whom he finds at the bar, eyes locked on a new target at the tattoo's pyre across the street. Loyal declares tonight will be his night. Dexter knows he must act quickly before another innocent woman is lost. That night, Loyal moves on his tattoo target, ready to knock her out with gas, before he can strike Dexter and intercept him and drags him to the kill table. Returning his old method, Dexter collects a blood slide of the trophy. Loyal sneers at Ritual, mocking the gesture. In response, Dexter drops his disguise and reveals the truth. He isn't Ronald Schmidt, but the Bay Harbor Butcher. Loyal's become the latest victim. Later, driving through the city, Harrison appears once again in his thought, pushing him to the face of the sun. Dexter admits something he's afraid to say aloud. What if Harrison wishes he had stayed dead? Next day, Angel Batista corners Harrison again, pressing him about Ryan. He makes it clear she doesn't see Dexter as some dark hero, only a man who left buddies in his wake. Angel warns him not to follow the same path. The word sticks, replying in Harrison's mind. He clutches Ryan's watch. Overwhelmed, he calls Wallace, ready to confess, but reaches only voicemail. Determined, he heads for the station. Just as he's about to enter, a hand grips his shoulder. Turning, he sees the father thought he was gone. Shocked, Harrison struggles to process the fact that his father is alive after being shot in the chest. Dexter ushers him to the car and takes him back to his apartment. When Harrison accuses him of stalking, Dexter replies simply that he cares about him. At the apartment, Dexter explains how he survives the gunshot and why he is in the prison. Harrison, still reeling, compares his father to our villains, who always rise after being struck down. Harrison then admits how deeply that day scared him, and Dexter takes the blame for making him pull the trigger. He also allows his sons to know more about Ryan Foster.